Hey guys, welcome back. In this particular video, we will be discussing about client ID enforcement policy and how to apply that on the existing API. So, keeping that thing in mind, let's get started. I will first log into my Anypoint platform. So, um, we'll like to close this once and we'll try to open up a new instance. This is Anypoint Mule4.3.0 and I have logged in with my credentials, and after that, just to showcase you once again, we are having API manager, and this is one of the instance, and it doesn't have any active client applications for now, and this is the consumer endpoint, so it is using the uh, non-proxy, or you can see the basic endpoint for now. And let me also open up the design center as well, just to showcase you the API specification. So this is the API, and it's taking some time to load. So now it's up. Uh, if I click on this, is mocking service is enabled, and if I click on get, I should be able to see the default response. I am going to try it. Send. So here I can see the response is coming up. This is already being published, so I will go to the exchange as well, just to showcase if everything is in sync. So this is the exchange, and this is the REST API exposed. I will go with 102. So I will click on get, and we'll select the default setting, and we'll click on send button, and you can see it is working fine. Okay, and just to show the same thing on postman as well, I have just copied down the same URL, and if I'm clicking on the send button, it is giving me the default response back. Okay, so having said that, let's start with the client ID enforcement procedure. Okay, let me show you one more thing. I will go to the runtime manager quickly and show you the configuration. Although it is being already covered in the previous video, like I have configured the API auto discovery in this particular case, and along with that, there are two more properties which I have already set within the properties tab. So client ID and client secret. So how to generate it, how we have placed it here. You can refer to some of my previous videos on the same topic. So now coming back to API manager. So we are here over here, and I will go to the policy, and I will click on apply new policy, and the client ID enforcement, I will select 122, the latest version. All calls to the API must include ID and secret, an application that is registered to use the API. So and it will generate a skeleton, or you can see the traits for this client ID based policies. Okay, I will click on the configure policy quickly, and I will go with default. It gives two different options to for the credential origin. Either it could be a basic authentication header or custom expression, which is the default one. So it suggests client ID and secret should be sent at the header level, and it gives two options, either all API method and resources or to the specific one. So I will go with the default, that is, it should be available on all method and resources. I will click on apply. So once it is done, we should be able to see this trait. Trait is nothing but it is showing like how this need to be applied onto the API specification. So I will click on YAML 1.0 tab and copy paste this particular piece of code, and we'll go to the API designer and we'll place it. You can see the traits is coming up, right? So I will just take a space and will paste it over here. Along with that, if you see it in the second section, it says like within the resources, according to the method, you can place this is client ID required, but I want this to be available on all. So what we can do, we can place this at this level, not onto the inside the get method level, but onto the player detail resource level. So you can see is coming up. So this is the right place. I have just copy pasted it and saved this particular file. So now on the right hand side, you can see it is now asking me for the ID and secret. So here there is no such foundation. So I will just put a random ID and secret. We'll click on send. So I'm getting the response back. So it means our client ID and secret is enabled at the API specification level. I will publish it to the exchange. It will ask me for the version and all the things. It will give the group ID, asset ID, and asset name. Only the thing you can change is this asset version. Rest of the thing you can change at the very initial level when you are publishing it for the first time. So many of the things are being taken up at that level. So I will click on publish to exchange. So I can see it is successfully published to exchange. I will close this tab and I will go back to API manager. So I will click back over here and we'll check for the version of Cricket team. Now you can see this asset version is 102 and it is giving me the option to update it. So I will update the asset. It is showing the current version as 102, as 102 is current. So I will go for the latest one. I will click on change and I will add a more specific detail label over here, like client ID enforced, just to make sure this is the latest change which we have just implemented. Okay, so after this thing, what I will do, I will go back to my exchange. I will refresh this thing once again, and uh, by default it is taking up this mocking. So instead of mocking, now you can see this sandbox with client ID enforced, the one which we have just implemented, that is now getting reflected. So I will just select this one. Somehow it is not taking up. So what I will do, I will again open up the exchange from here. I will right click, open up a new tab, open up the Cricket, and now I can see the same app client ID enforced. So what I will do, I will go to the instance of it. Now you can see client ID and client secret are it is looking for. So if I'm going with the mock, I can put any client ID and client secret. Okay, because it is running onto the same level of API designer, API specification mocking. That is same at this level. If I put one and one here and click on send, it will give me a positive response. Okay, so this is the positive response. So similarly, I will, if I go to the at this level and will change the server to the sandbox, it will again ask me for the client ID and client secret. So now you can see it is 401 unauthorized. So it means we need to have a proper client ID and secret to be placed here. So what we need to do, we have to click on request access, or there is one way, uh, just publish this thing onto the external um, portal. Okay, so what we will do, we will again go back to the asset and we'll go to the public portal, and this is the Cricket team, and we'll go for the instance of get. Now we can see it is asking for the latest one only. I will select this one, and if I click on send button, 1 second, it is asking for all the details, right? So it means we are on the correct page only. Guys, 1 second, I'm just trying to look at something.  。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . 。 . . . . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . So here you can see the request access. So I will request for it. We'll select the client ID enforced. We'll create a new app and we'll click on request access. It will generate default client ID and client secret. So let's copy this thing. Okay, and what I will do, I will go over here and this is my client ID. Now I am going to copy the client secret. So this is the secret, and if I click on send button, let's see what happens. It is showing me invalid client. Okay, so let's see what is the reason behind it. And just copy this particular thing. Let me select the correct server. Click on send. I can get the proper response back. So what I will do, let me try to check it once again. It seems like I'm just doing something wrong over here. I will copy paste this once again, and within the authorization, within the header, I need to add the client ID and the client secret. Client underscore ID, client. One second, guys. Client underscore secret. Let's try to be more specific, although it should not matter. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy paste this thing as the secret, and I will copy paste the client ID. Okay, and we'll click on send button, and let's see, we are able to get the response back. So it means if I'm putting up the correct ID and secret, it is working fine. So what I will do, I will try to temper it. I have just put a extra character X in the end of client ID, and let's click on the send button. So invalid client. So now it's working fine, and so it is just my observation. Nothing to be in the generalized manner. Some other times, whenever we put up any policy and give a request access to the end system, it takes around 10 to 15 seconds of delay in order to get it reflected. So just keep that thing in mind. This is just my personal experience, and I hope with this particular thing, like we have implemented the client ID enforcement policy in one of this example. I hope you like this video, and we'll cover a rest of the policies in the upcoming videos. Thank you. Thanks for staying. Thank you.